People way dumber than you are making millions right now. And I'm being serious, like it's a fact. They're not better than you. They're not more qualified. They just got tired of overthinking and started to move. Hold on one second. Hey, Jarvis, open the mask and give me my water. Sorry, a little parched there. But take me, for example. I've made over 7 figures online in my business with just one digital product doing a little over 900K. And it didn't happen because I was so smart. It happened because I was too dumb to know any better. And I think it's time for you to get out of your own head. Look, intelligence is overrated, execution isn't, and it's only gonna take me about 5 minutes to break down this concept. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then you'll probably just end up being another smart, broke person instead of one of these rich dummies running around out here. And we actually need some of the smart people to get some of the money, because look at what all the rich dummies are doing to the planet. It's crazy out here. They're doing a bunch of bad stuff. But look, the biggest lie that you've been told since a child is stuff like work hard and be smart and you'll get rewarded, right? Well, that stuff, it sounds good in a Disney movie, but this is real life, and real life isn't like that. In the real world, money follows momentum, not mental gymnastics, right? And hold on. Jarvis, close the mask. He just keeps on blabbing out here, right? Let me cut Jarvis off. Hold on one second. But I've seen people with all the degrees stuck in cubicles all day, broke. Or even using myself as an example, I have a degree in marketing with a professional sales concentration, and I learned absolutely nothing about marketing or professional sales in college. And with my degree, I was out washing cars in a suit in 100-degree weather each and every single day. Broke. Right? Meanwhile, there's some kid with the $12 Shopify template that's making like $20K a month reselling digital planners and whatnot. Or even in my community, it's crowded at the top community. We have a young man in there, I think he's about 22, 23 maybe, and he's pulling in 5 figures per month selling a digital product of a vendor's list. Right? Shout out to you, Prophet, if you happen to be watching this, man. You're killing it out there, bro. But why are they succeeding when all of the smart and all of the educated people are not succeeding? Because they're not spending too much time thinking. They're spending all of their time doing, and then they're building a system along the way. And system, SYSTEM, stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. You need to create a system for yourself to where you can do the work once and implement it into a system, and that system can work for you 24/7, 365, so you can get your time back and you can make more while actually working less. Smart doesn't pay, useful does, and movement does. And the successful people, they get out of their head and they take massive imperfect action. That's what it takes to succeed. Look, perfectionism is just procrastination in a Gucci jacket, right? Like, it might look good, it might feel good, but it ain't nothing. And really, those Gucci jackets, they don't even look good. Maybe that was a bad example. But look, what I mean by that is that perfectionism is just procrastination in disguise, right? So when you're waiting to have everything be perfect, when you're waiting to be ready, when you're waiting for the perfect logo, when you're waiting for the perfect offer, when you're waiting for the perfect time, I gotta be real with you. That version of you, that's just your inner saboteur in action. And that's a new word that I just learned yesterday. I've been waiting to use it like for a whole 2 days now. Saboteur, that means somebody that engages in sabotage. So that person that's waiting for everything, that person that's waiting to get everything perfect, that is your inner saboteur. But in reality, nobody that's really making any money online in their business, they never feel ready. They start, they launch, they adjust fast. Look, the faster that you're willing to suck publicly, the faster that you'll be able to stack wins privately. And write this down in the comments just so I know that you're hearing me right now. The money goes to the fastest mover, not the smartest creator. And also, the number one thing that you need to do where all these people that honestly aren't even using their brains to get any of this stuff cracking, is this. You simply need to make a decision. And as simple as this sounds, so many people are not making a decision. What they're doing is that they're picking from what they believe to be choices. And you need to eliminate choices because choices, they're not definitive. A choice has an option. Whereas when you make a decision, you eliminate all choices because a decision is definitive. It only has one option to it, and that's what you need to make. You need to stop negotiating with yourself back and forth and make a decision to do something and do that one thing until that one thing is done. So when I fired my job April 1st, 2016, I made a decision that I would never work for somebody again a day in my life. Right. So once I made that decision, I became mentally unemployable. So even on my downtimes, even on my lows and my pitfalls and my valleys, and have I had some valleys, some dark valleys at that, I never had an option to go and get a job, right? I never had an option to figure something else out. My plan B was another way to make my plan A work. My plan C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z was just another way to make my plan A work. Why? Because I made a decision to be a successful entrepreneur. When I took my business 100% online with digital products and whatnot, why did I become successful? Because I had so much conviction in my decision that it was gonna work, that I did not give myself another option until I figured it out. When I got rid of my Instagram with over 120,000 followers at the time to start up a YouTube last year from scratch, everybody thought I was crazy, but I made the decision that I wanted to grow an audience on YouTube and I wanted to monetize a YouTube channel because I saw that it was the best form of traffic, like hands down, beats everything by far, right? But I made a decision to do that. I cut everything out to whereas I'm forced to figure out a way to make YouTube work. I have to do it. There's no other option because I said it's going to be done. Therefore, I go ahead and I create it and I make it be done. And look, if you're not making money online in your business right now, it's not a strategy problem. It's a comfort problem. You've gotten comfortable with figuring it out. You've gotten comfortable with watching YouTube videos. You've gotten comfortable with taking courses. You've gotten comfortable with listening to podcasts. You've gotten comfortable with reading books, right? That's a comfort zone, but comfort is broke and broke is comfort. Building is not comfortable at all. You gotta get uncomfortable right now. Having 117 videos in your watch later playlist on YouTube so you can learn later, signing up to every single person's email list for their free lead magnet so you can get whatever free resource that they're giving to you so you can learn, and signing up for everybody's free masterclass so you can learn, but you haven't posted one offer yet, or you're not driving any traffic to any offers. That's not learning. That's you being comfortable in learning. Building means exposure. It means rejection. It means accountability. And here's the truth. Every excuse that you tell yourself in the mirror, it makes sense. Like it logically makes sense. And you have to realize why it makes sense because you have to realize how your subconscious mind works. So look, your brain basically works on a series of ones and zeros, with the one registering as something good and a zero registering as something bad, right? And all that your brain wants to do is get as many of these one hits as possible. It just wants to get these dopamine releases and it just wants to stay safe. It doesn't want to be in danger and it wants to feel comfortable, right? So that learning that you're doing, it's registering at a one, and whether you realize it or not, you're getting a little release of dopamine with all of that procrastination disguised as learning that you're actually doing. So you feel good about yourself when you watch a series of educational YouTube videos, right? Because you feel like you learned something. You feel good when you're watching that podcast because you feel like you learned something. You feel good when you go to that marketing conference because you feel like you learned something. But in actuality, all that work that you're avoiding doing is registering at a zero. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel comfortable. You don't get a release of dopamine from it. So you keep on avoiding it so you can do all this stuff right here that's not going to move the needle for you. And that's why every excuse, when you think about it, it sounds good. It sounds logical because your mind, your brain, and your subconscious, it doesn't want it at all. But you got to start doing some of this stuff that feels uncomfortable. You got to start doing stuff that is hard. You got to start doing the hard stuff on purpose so you can retrain your subconscious mind to enjoy doing some of those things that you keep on avoiding. And I promise you, if you just do everything that you know you are putting off, you will be successful by default. But all this stuff right here, it sounds smart, but you know what doesn't sound smart? Being broke when dumb people are cashing out every day. And you don't need to be brilliant, you just need a system. And like I said earlier, system. SYSTEM stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money, right? But outside of creating systems for yourself in your business, you need to always be thinking in systems. And a system for you to finally stop procrastinating and get moving is this. The S stands for save yourself from strategy overload. So this means pick one offer, pick one channel, and go. Look, I'm telling you, if you can come up to a solution to one avatar's problem and create one digital product solving that problem to deliver to them with one source of traffic, I'm telling you, you can scale that to a 7-figure level. Now, I ain't telling you what I think. This ain't no theory. I'm telling you what I know because I do this. I have done this. But you need to focus and lock in on one offer with one source of traffic, one channel. And I highly suggest this platform that you're on right now of YouTube. I wish that I took my YouTube seriously years ago. And the best time to take YouTube seriously was years ago. The second best time is right now. There's a reason why I only make YouTube content and nothing else, even though I have more followers on other platforms. I built YouTube up from scratch with nothing. I highly suggest that you do too. And I promise you it will change your life if you let it. The why. Your voice is your unfair advantage. Look, stop copying people with 200,000 followers and 1 million subscribers and start building trust with 200 people. To get to a high 6 or a 7-figure level online in your business, you don't need to have the biggest audience. You just need to have the right audience. And you don't need to go viral in order to do that. You need to build a micro niche personal brand and become an authority in a space that is known for solving a particular problem for a particular person, or better yet, a particular painful problem, because it is easier to draw people away from their pain than to lead them towards their pleasure. And then the S, stat proof, not just content. Look, your results are your resume now. So along your whole entrepreneurial journey, document your process. As you start to help other people, document that also. Document your growth. Because if you're going to become an authority in your space with your micro niche personal brand, you're going to have to start to stat some proof along the way. You can't just make content. And then your content gets better when you actually make content with your stat proof as evidence. And then the T, test in the market, not in your head. Don't think you have a good idea. Let the market and let people tell you that you have a good idea. You want to constantly be testing. You want to constantly be getting feedback from real people. Look, you want to stay as analog as possible in the digital world. Now, I know we're looking to make all this money online and build our businesses online, but you will build a better, long-lasting business online, and you will have so much more revenue coming in online in your business the more feedback that you get from real people, and that comes from actually getting stuff out into the marketplace. So you need to create an MVP, which stands for minimal viable product, right? So you need to create something that is minimal enough but viable enough to get somebody a result, just so you can get it into the hands of people quickly, and then you can refine and you can tinker on your actual product to make it better over time. But those people that ain't making no money, it's because they're waiting on building the perfect product, but they don't know what the perfect product is. They don't know what the perfect offer is because they haven't gotten any feedback from anybody. They're just going off of what they think people need instead of what they know that people need. And then the E stands for eliminate busy work disguised as progress. Look, there's so many people that claim to be working so hard, or there's so many people that claim to be busy, but then at the end of the day, they have gotten absolutely nothing accomplished. Has that ever happened to you? Like the whole day goes by and you were busy all day, and then at the end of the day, it's like, dang, I wish I had more hours in the day. Like I didn't get anything accomplished. That's because they're preoccupied by busy work, and we don't want to build a busyness. We want to build a business. So make real moves, make revenue generating moves. Focus on revenue generating activities, not MWAs. And MWA stands for minimum wage activities. So a lot of the things that are occupying your time to whereas you can actually focus that time on your business and those revenue generating activities, a way that you can figure this out is to literally Track every single hour in your day for a few days and see what it is that you're doing each and every single day. And if it's not a needle mover, just delegate it out to somebody. And when I say delegate, people, they think that I'm saying that you need to like hire a bunch of people and whatnot, right? I'm like, nah, there's automations and you can delegate stuff through apps and stuff. And I'm not even talking about just stuff within your business. I'm talking about something as simple as grocery shopping. I use something like Instacart to deliver my groceries because I know the hours that that takes away from me per week to whereas I can be working on my business. So I'll just have somebody deliver my mangoes and my watermelons and my pineapples and my water and whatnot to my front doorstep. I don't have to spend that time mowing my grass. I have somebody come through and do that. I don't have to spend time cleaning my house. Martha and the homegirl, they come through and do that. And when I say this stuff, people, they think about how much money this stuff costs instead of thinking of the opportunity costs that it costs them by having their time be preoccupied. So if I use the person cleaning my house, for example, Martha and the homegirl come through, it's $130. Other people, they will be thinking that, oh, this costs $130 instead of thinking of what can I be doing with my time to do something that is going to bring me in way more than $130. I'm telling you, me just thinking of 1 or 2 YouTube videos is going to bring me back way more money than the $130 that I spend to get those few hours of my time back. And then actually when you're working also, you need to eliminate certain things that are distracting you because in actuality, like to make high 6-7 figures, you don't have to put in that much work. Like I only work 2 to 4 hours per day, if that. But when I'm working, I'm super focused and I'm only focused on that task. So even you right now, think about when you're watching this YouTube video. How are you watching it? Have you really been focused this whole time? Or were you looking in the comments? Were you looking at the suggested tab over on the right-hand side to see what it is that you're gonna look at next? Do you have it minimized and you're scrolling the home screen? Do you have 5, 10, 12 other tabs open if you're watching this on the computer? Or you're scrolling your phone? Like, people's brains are so fried that they don't even know how to focus. And the way that your brain is designed, as soon as you get off track, as soon as you get out of focus, it takes your mind 15 to 20 minutes to get back in the state of focus. And that's why it takes people so long to get anything done because they get distracted all the time. Pull out the phone, check a text message, pull out the phone, scroll social media, ding, chime, notification. They're just getting distracted by everything versus when I'm focused, I have a 4-hour window and I just get so much done within that 4-hour span that I typically get more done in one single day than people can get done in a week. And in actuality, just being real, I get more stuff done in a day than most people really get done like in a month for real because most people ain't doing no real work. So focus and lock in. And then the M is to make noise with your name on it. Your brand is what people say about you, not what you tell people about your brand. Like most people, they have that completely backwards and they think that they own their brand when they don't. You don't own your brand and you don't have a brand. You don't have a personal brand. You have as many versions of your personal brand as many people as you've reached because everybody is going to have their own perceived version of you. But what is it that you're giving them to remember? And this is how dumber people are doing smarter things than you. They're not using their smarts, they're making the decision, they're having true belief and conviction in themselves behind that decision, and they're using systems. But you're not too late, you're too quiet. You think that you need a decade of experience before you can share what you know, but that's false. Teach what you're learning, sell what you've solved, and talk like you actually want to be paid. Look, the world doesn't reward silent thinkers. It rewards loud learners like all them that you see on the screen right now. And if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description and join this Credit at the Top community. For weekly coaching from myself, all my exclusive trainings, plus a private community of entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only a few bucks a day to join right now, literally less than a cup of coffee per day. So click the link down in the description to tap in, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. Look, I'm telling you, this online business stuff, it's not rocket science, but you just have to have some belief in yourself and some conviction and just make that decision and go all in. And then at the end of the day, it comes down to coming up with a solution to a problem and getting that solution in front of a person that has that problem. So pick one, but it all starts with your personal brand. So go ahead and click the link down in the description to tap into the community, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. And go ahead and check out this video right here about how you can actually build that personal brand for yourself. It's Credit at the Top.